Hi there, welcome back. This is our final video doing the black and white series. We're going to use these really rather lovely glitters, this fantastic mould. It's a big mould. It's just zoomed out there so you can see the full mould. Just move little hedgehog out of the way. And we're going to use this lovely black and white glitters, maybe a bit of the pigment resin, white pigment, and maybe the black pigment, but we'll see. We'll see. This is very organic as this is going to go. This is the first time I've done this kind of method. So we've got 4 mini silicone mixing jugs there. We've got a much bigger mixing jug on the left, which is full, and I mean full, of T-Expert resin, 1:1 mixing ratio. I've also just shown you a couple of other things there that I thought I might use but actually didn't use in the end. So we're going to get on with decanting some of this lovely resin into some of these mixing jugs. As you can see, the bigger mixing jug does tend to have a bit of a life of its own. It's because it's all silicone, so it's very bendy, and I forget that when I've got a lot of resin in it I need to support all the sides when I'm pouring, but never mind, we will move on. So just decant some more in there into that one. There you go. The resin's quite clear. There's a few tiny little micro bubbles, but as we're actually going to be using glitter as our main additive to the resin, the overall effect, it will not matter if there's a few tiny little bubbles mixed in with the glitter. But if you're concerned about bubbles, you can always just leave it to degas for a couple more minutes. They should all dissipate and disappear. Or you've got if you've got should we just say, I'm going to call them a debubbling machine. Then you can put the clear resin through that if you wish. So almost ready to go, just a little bit of clear up there. And yeah, so here is this black glitter. Now this, look at that. It's lots of little tiny black diamonds. I don't know if you've ever seen black diamonds, but that's what this reminded me of. Now that is quite a generous mini spade full of glitter. Now when I was mixing this in, I thought that's gone very, very black, which is great. That's okay, because that's, you know, what you want. But it's not giving pops of glitter, you know, the sparkle that I wanted. And I was just umming and ahhing, what do I do? Do I put it to one side and use some fresh resin? Use some different glitter, or actually I've got some other glitter, which is what I've just shown you there. That was glitter from the skulls kit that we got from Jules at Resin Jules and Helena at Resin Detra Supplies. Check them out, their socials, all the links will be in the description box. They sell a lot of glitters, kits, and lots of other lovely stuff to do with resin. So I added some of that black glitter in with the other black glitter, and then it gave it the pop that I was looking for. Now this is the lovely white glitter, or as I want to call it, bit magic glitter maybe. It looks very white. I put a lot. I was very generous with the glitter in this one, because this does, although it looks white, a lot of it does go more translucent, so it's more see-through. But just gently mixing it in there, because there was a lot, and then obviously sped up a bit once it started to really mix well. So there we are. So that has gone a slightly milky colour, like a little bit cloudy. Well, not milky, but a bit cloudy. But can you see how this one, you've got more of the pops of glitter, which is what I was looking for. Now, have zoomed out again so you can see how big this mould is. And all I'm doing is pouring the black glitter resin around the edge of the mould. There we go. It's so big I actually do it split it up into 2 so that you haven't got my arm in all of the shot. So apologies you can't see the bottom of the mould, but I'm just going around the edge of the bottom of the mould as well. And then we've got that little bit up around the top there just to do. There we go. So just making sure that it's all completely filled in there. And then we're going to repeat exactly the same sort of thing. We're just going to go around the edges there a minute, just help the black resin to the edges of the mould. Because this resin was quite thick. The glitter that I added had made it actually go quite thick, thicker than I was expecting. So just helping it out to the edges there with a mini popsicle style stir stick. Just giving the white glitter mix just a final little stir there. before actually pouring it in. And then there we go, just pouring it in up to or as close as you can get it next to where you've poured the black. So just going around all the edges. We are. Just carefully filling it in. I suppose the only criticism I would have here is the fact that although it gave a nice overall effect, it wasn't exactly what I wanted. I think I would have had to have mixed in the Let's Resin pigment, white pigment, to get it to do that. But, you know, I was still pleased with the overall result, although, you know, it isn't necessarily exactly what I was looking for. So there we go. I'm just going in with the black again there. See, that does look very deep, a real dark, rich black colour. And then in again with the white. So just repeating it as we do each of the steps. Yeah, I suppose the only other thing I would say is that the finished piece is thicker than what I would have liked. And, well, you can see the sort of pitfalls that presents us with as we go on through this project. But yes, just to be aware of the fact that to get the effect that I wanted, I had to almost fill the mould to the top. But then trying to manipulate it into a bowl shape made it quite difficult. But we persevered. I had to tag in my tag team partner sometimes when that I've done before, and that's Wayne. And so you'll see this is a 50-50 split. He's done 50% of the project and I've done 50%. So I'm doing the start here, and then he actually finishes off the project for me. So just going in again with the black. We're almost done with doing our different lines of black and white. Of course, you don't have to do what I've done. You can just do it all black. You could do it all white. You could use pigment pastes rather than glitters and see how that combines, you know, because resin does have a life of its own. And, you know, that you might end up with quite a nice marble effect. A marble effect one would actually look stunning. Would look really, really stunning. So there we go. Just getting the last little bits of black out of the mixing jug there, making sure that, you know, it's going in and around. So it doesn't matter if they're not equal, as long as it's more or less following the shape of the mould. There you go. So at this point, I'm just wondering whether or not to add in, because you are going to add clear into the centre part of this, but you need to add in enough completely clear resin so that it pushes its way across the surfaces and pushes all the other colours of resin that we've done, the rings, out to the side of the mould, and then it gradually pulls them all back in again. That's the effect that we were looking for. And when I'm just reminded when I look back at this, that this is actually very different looking currently than the finished piece that we got, which is great, because although this might suit some people's taste as it looks currently, it wasn't what I was going for. There we go. So what I've done, I've put in a tiny bit more clear resin into that one and just mixed it up with the residue of the black glitter mix that was in there, and then just sort of filled it up a bit more. So one last little white one there, little ring of white. And then here we go. We've got some clear resin in this little jug here that I'm about to use, but we've also got some clear resin in the much larger jug on the left hand side there. I'm just emptying what's left of the clear resin from the little jug into the bigger jug, because we're just literally going to pour it straight in. So you're aiming for the middle, the very middle where you can see there of the mould, there's no resin. And can you see what it's doing? It's going across all the rest of them, of where we've done the different rings of resin colour. It's pushing some of it out to the sides as well. And you don't go any further than the top of the mould, obviously. But I think with hindsight, it's just a bit too thick. It ends up being a bit too thick to create a bowl. But But I'm very pleased with the overall piece. Right. So when I move this mixing bowl out of the way, I'm just making sure we're getting every last little bit of clear resin out of there and into that piece, into the mould. We are. Very easy cleanup on that as well. So look, can you see what it's done here? It's pushed some of it from the centre outwards and then it's pulled some of it back in again. Now, I am actually going to be adding in some silver foil. So that's Wayne, you can see, just handling the silver foil for me. And I am trying to mix it into the very small amount of clear resin that's left in the bottom of this mixing jug. And then all I'm doing is then just mixing it, and then trying to get it so it goes into the centre of the bowl, or the centre of this mould, which was really rather difficult. There we go. So this is just something so you've got a bit of interest in the middle of it when it's finished curing. You don't have to do this step, of course. If you're not happy when it cures and you want to put a little something extra in the centre there, well, you could add something then. But if anything you're going to add that's going to go on the surface of the resin would then have to be sealed. So you've got the added complication of trying to work out how you're going to seal it so that there's no sort of raised edges or elevations in the middle of the bowl. That's if you decide to leave it as a bowl. If you decide to leave not as a bowl and just as a large centerpiece for a table, perhaps, that maybe you're going to put some ornaments or vases on, or other sort of decorations on, then that's fine. That's fine too. There we go. You just sent it. Now, this is a good 12 hours later. It's still bendy, which is what you want. However, this wasn't as bendy as I'd hoped. But I'm going to go on and demold it. Now, it is a large piece, so trying to demold it so all of it was in camera at the same time was quite difficult. Now, I could tell at this point this was a little bit too cured, perhaps to easily manipulate into a bowl shape. It was. I mean, this was, I don't know if it just was, it was maybe a bit too cured. That's the other side there. As you can see, there's more of the ring definition there. So you make your mind up which side you want the bowl to go on. We ended up trying to use this bowl. Now, this is the third time lucky. So fingers crossed, trying to press it in. This is Wayne. I resorted to tagging Wayne in to do this for me because I just didn't have the strength. It was, as you can see there, the depth of it is quite thick. It's thicker than the previous bowls that we've done in this sort of way. So a little bit more strength was required when coming to pressing it down into the bowl and trying to get it to stay there. But he managed it, which is great. Now, it's back with me again. So I'm going to put some bubble wrap down just to protect the surface, and then put a heavy object in, which was just a bottle of, I think it was a bottle of almost completely used up resin. And then we put some masking tape down over the top of it. There you go, look, just to ensure that it doesn't rise up. Just extra precaution there. Now, this is back over to Wayne. So this is 2 days later. We left it a whole 2 days so that it would completely cure in that shape. And he's just removing the tape now. This is just regular masking tape from it. There we go. So he's just going to remove the tape, then he's going to remove the bottle, and then obviously the bubble wrap. So the bubble wrap was there just to make sure the bottle didn't mark the surface of the bowl itself, the resin piece that we put in. There we go. And there we go. So I love the effect that the glitter's had on that. That's great. Now, trying to remove it out. That's the other thing. Because this isn't like the flower shaped bowls that we've done where you've got, parts that are away from the bowl that you can get a different amount of grip for and then pull it out. We weren't sure how it was going to happen, but he's managed to get it out pretty easy. The only thing is it's not flat enough on the bottom to stop it. Can you see that? To stop it from wobbling. It's uneven, which is a bit of a shame. I mean, some people that might be absolutely fine and you could just stop there. But we were concerned. I did speak to Wayne about it. You probably saw my hand come in then. Because he called me out and he said, you know, you need to come and have a look at this. Tell me what you think. Got any suggestions? Well, yeah. So we had to think about it for about a day. I must admit, we put this to one side and did some other things whilst we were thinking about it. But look at that close-up shot there that we just gave you. It's beautiful. I love the way that the glitter has had that effect. And we came up with this idea. Now, we've got some of these moulds. We got this one from Temu. It may have been in a Temu haul video we did, but I'm not 100% certain. But this mould is actually, it's like a wave effect dish or plate. So when it's demoulded, it's actually got a dip, a slight dip in it. I'm not sure if it's a concave or convex dip, but it's got a slight dip. So decided to go ahead, repeat the process that we'd done with the bowl itself, with the black glitter and the white glitter, putting it in the mould, into the rings, letting it cure till it was for about 12 hours, and then trying to use it to stabilise the bowl. So here's Wayne, he's just mixing up the black glitter, and didn't use this regular black glitter this time, just used the one that gave it that little pop of sparkle. So he's just thoroughly mixing that one in. Again, using T-Expert resin as our base for our resin. It's a 1-to-1 mixing ratio. It is the brand of our choice at the moment for us. There we go. Look at that. They tend to have good deals on Amazon for it as well. Certainly in the UK they do. So there we go. That's the black. And now he's going to mix up the white glitter one. And it was at this point he said, I don't really know how much to put in. So he went in for about the same amount that he did as the black. There we go. About the same amount. Stirred it up, and then I said to him, just go for it. Put some more in. Because I'm like that. Put some more in. You can never have too much glitter. So there we go. He's just mixing it in carefully. And then once it's a bit more incorporated, he just turns up the power, shall we just say. Stirs it a bit more vigorously, just to combine it all within the resin, which is what we want. Now, he did actually say to me, I don't think this is white enough. So it was still too clear, really. Way too clear. When you compare it to what we did with the bowl, that's way too clear. So he's going to go for it. And he's going to put some more of the white glitter in. Definitely needs some more. I mean, it's still beautiful. It's pretty. It's very nice, but it's a bit too opaque, a bit too translucent at the moment. So there we go. Look at that. See what I mean? This is definitely the magic glitter, where it's got pops. It's clear. It looks white in the container, and then as soon as you add it to resin, you get the little pops of silver and gold and green, a little bit holographic looking. So there we go. This is he's going for it this time. So again, stirs it in gradually just to combine it, and then stirs more vigorously. This has got to be one of my favourite glitters. As a base glitter, you know, a basic glitter, you go in, you can buy it off the shelf. I think this one comes from The Range, which is a UK high street or retailer. And they stock all kinds of things for your home. And then they've got a very good craft section to them as well. So look at that. That's a lot more what we're looking for. So back to the mould. There's this lovely wave effect plate-shaped mould. It's not completely round, which is great. And here we go. Wayne's just going in. So he started with the white glitter mix in the resin, going round, just generally going round there like that. And then he's going to repeat that process with the black. Now, because this is a stepped mould, or, you know, it's basic, I don't know if it's concave, convex mould, but it's got a dip in it. So when you demould it, the dip is where it goes downwards. If that makes more sense. Sorry if I'm not making myself very clear here. We're not sure if it's going to have the same effect with the glitter, or with these glitter mixed resins, because he does go ahead and he does pour clear in it. Now, I'm not sure that it has the complete effect that he was going for. But, you know, we can try. We can try, let's just see. Now, I did at this point tell him, you need to put some more white in. He's put it in around the edges of the mould there because it's not come up to the sides. Because, as I said, it does dip down. It goes in sort of like a waved step variation around the sides. And he said, but it's all collecting at the bottom. This is why we're not certain if this technique that we used to make the bowl really worked as well with this like plate or dish. But, you know, we're going to try. This is the first time we've used this mould, this particular mould. And it was looking okay at the moment. Now, Wayne was all set, ready to go and pour in the clear resin. And he does actually go for it. There we go. So he's poured in the rest of the clear resin that he's got. And it does sort of do the same thing as it did with the bowl. He's just going to pour all of it in. He's going to scrape out round that mixing container. Make sure that it is all in, and then make sure, of course, that it is full up to the top of the sides of the mould. Because if it's not, you risk it not curing properly and obviously not having the effect you want it to. So you're just going around the edge of the mould here with a micro brush, just to dislodge any little bubbles that might have got trapped there on the edges of it. So you can see it has pushed some of it out to the sides, but it's not brought a lot of it back into the centre. Now this was only 12 hours later, and it was cured enough for us to demould, which is what Wayne's done there. It's come away from the mould lovely and clean. And that is it. So can you see what it's done? You've got real depth of colour on the outside edges. Can you see what I mean by the wave or ripple effect? And we're going to sit the bowl into it. So where it dips down on the plate is where the bottom part of the bowl is going to be. And we're just going to use some CA glue to fix the bowl to the base. But before he does that, he has gone round the edges of the bowl with a deburring tool to get rid of any sharp edges. And then he's going to go around and just decorate them with some of our favourite deco colour pens. This is in the silver though. There we are. And as I say, you can buy these from Amazon, but the link that we're going to put in is from a company called UStudio, which we found, you know, we haven't got to wait. It's literally 2 or 3 days, if that, and they arrive with us. Whereas if we go to Amazon, we're then waiting 3 to 4 weeks for some reason. They don't do it on Prime delivery, which is a shame. So this bit's been sped up. This is Wayne decorating the outside edge. He's gone round slightly on the inside first, as you can see there, with the pen. And then he's going around the outer edge carefully of the bowl. This has been sped up because this process does take a while. Obviously, do it at your own speed, at your own pace. And yeah, you just then continue. If you need to do 2 coats, do 2 coats. And this has definitely been sped up, but this is him doing the plate part of the piece. So almost acting like, this acts like the stand that the bowl sits in. So he's colouring it in. Now we have these pens in different size of nibs. They do from fine through to the chisel shape. And as I said, the link to UStudio will be in the description box, along with everything else that we've used today. We don't currently have any discount codes for Temu or anything else that we've used. However, we do still have a discount code for BB Craft, which we haven't used any of their products in this video today. But if you use the code Lottie10, you'll get 10% off the total value of your order. And that is valid until September next year. So why not check out their information, have a look. We did do a BB Craft unboxing, and we have done some videos with the free gifts that they gave us. So why not check those out? The hedgehogs were one of them, seahorses, and an unboxing we did. We've also done a carousel, which was a mould from them as well. So why not head on over to our playlist and take a look. So this is, as I said, the final video with our black and white series that we were doing. We've been interrupted a little bit with Halloween and things like that, and a Halloween collab whilst doing that. But we're going to be starting Christmas very, very soon. So don't forget to like, share, subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, why not create a YouTube account? It's free to do so, and subscribe to our channel. You'll be able to see us. We upload quite a few videos actually a week, usually 3, on a Wednesday, Friday and Sunday at 5 p.m. UK time. They all are going to premiere currently, so why not join us in the live chat, and you can chat to us as the video goes out live, and any other artists that have joined us in the live chat. So we're just going to do the final bit here now. So he's going in with this, this is a CA glue, so it's an activated glue. It bonds two things together, should we just say. It bonds them very well, and usually within a matter of seconds. So be careful when you're using it that you don't get it on your skin, because you may end up sticking your skin to something you don't want to stick it to. So there we go, he's just put it on. He's put the bowl on top of the stand or the plate, and then applied pressure till it is fixed. So here's the final shot. So I think this looks stunning. I love the idea of the stand there. Definitely screaming out to us to be done as a marble effect, I think, with opaque pigments. But let us know what you think in the comments. Take care, everybody, and we'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.